Hi everyone, Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Cheers! Afternoon coffee, yay! So this is one of two videos. We're going to start this doll together today. The video is a little bit long. It's about 27 minutes. So that's just part one. So part two you'll have on Thursday, and then that's when we will actually dress the doll. So some people that inspired this, Keisha inspired this by sending me a grief doll, which is over the top amazing, and Judith has inspired me to make some dolls more on a whimsical side. I say that. They're dark, but they're colorful. So there you have it. So thank you, Keisha, and thank you, Judith, for the inspiration. Also, when I was a child, I had a doll that was, she had two heads, and you flip the skirt over one and then the other, so you actually had two dolls in one. So that inspired this doll as well. She's wearing two words, change and accept. So that's the choices I believe we have. We have the choice of accepting things as they are or changing things. And that usually means changing something within myself, my attitude or my approach or my belief or something. And so those are the words that she chose to wear. All right, I think that's all. I usually think I have so much to tell you, and then I get on screen and I forget. But anyway, this is Monday's video, and Thursday we will dress her. Okay. Thanks for your patience. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a comment. I try to respond to them. And see you on the table. So here is our project for today. I might divide the video into two videos because it's kind of long. Anyway, we'll see when I go to edit it. But this is a doll that I made. This side says change. When you flip her skirt over, it says accept. These are hand-painted faces on a recycled piece of canvas. I used watercolor pencils, scraps of fabric. These are from Dana, I believe. Some wings, some Franken-patched wings. Oh my goodness, she was so fun. Her arms and her legs are the same length. She does sit up. Actually, she has to lean against something, but she does sit up if you lean her against something. So she is amazing. I had a lot of fun with her. Okay, I have an intention. We'll see how we'll see how it works out. I have a brown paper bag, and I'm using a candle for the stencil. We shall see if this is big enough. I suppose what I should do is cut that circle out, making two circles. So basically I'm making a template or a pattern. Since I make things up as I go, I'm going to just cut this out. I think that's going to be perfect. Might make it just a little bit bigger for seam allowance when we cut it out on the material. I thought this polka dot fabric would be fun. So it's a double layer right now. So if I did that, that would create one side of the doll. So I'm going to fold that. Now I have 4 layers. I'm going to pin the pattern on. Normally I don't pin anything. I'm a just go for it kind of girl. Now there again, I'm going to leave room for a seam allowance. So I will cut it a little bit larger. And I have 2 dolls. I'm making the arms and the legs all the same length. So I have 2 arms here. I'm going to sew all 4 pieces in half with the right sides together. Alright, so I sewed each piece and then I brought it down at the end like this. I'm going to just cut that little corner off. So there's not so much bulk in the hand. I'm going to bring in a bamboo skewer on the blunt end and catch that at the sewn in end and just work it down. And we have an arm or a leg, and I'll do that on each one. I'm going to take my bamboo skewer, just pop it down those arms and legs, and get those corners out. I have some quinoa. I'm going to scoop up some quinoa in a straw. And then I'm just going to put in as much quinoa as I would like to create some weight at the bottom. A little bit more. And I have quinoa to about right there. Just going to take a scrap of fabric and create a blockage actually so that that quinoa doesn't go anyplace. And I will do that on all 4. All right, I have the 4 hands and feet filled with the quinoa. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pin these in place. Not doing much with them right now. I have an old canvas, a repurposed canvas, and I am going to use this for the face. Oh, that's perfect. We'll cut out 2. I'm going to paint the canvas with white gesso and let them dry. I'm just not sure. Since it is a repurposed canvas, I want to make sure that the bite is kind of even. Good morning. Coffee in hand. I have a piece of the canvas with gesso on it, a pencil, and the woodless watercolor pencils from Arteza. And we are going to start drawing a face on here. So let's go. have some fun fabric, and I'm going to make her a hat. I'm going to go ahead and sew her face on. Alright, I have the two faces painted. I'm going to put a crown on one side and a hat on the other. I went ahead and sewed the faces on. And now I need to meditate on the piece a little bit so that I can figure out what's next. So I have the hat and the crown that I'm going to play with. I'm going to sew them together. And then I will be back. So eventually there will be some words on here, but I don't know what the words are going to say. But I'm going to go ahead and sew those onto the front of the doll. As I was sewing these tags on, she told me what the words were, and they are going to be accept, change. So I'm going to take my alphabet letters and I'm going to put accept and change on here with my Stays on ink. Accept or change. This is the part of the doll that has the arms. I'm going to go ahead and sew them on. And sew her hat on. Here's her crown, so I'm going to take that over to the machine and sew that. So I have the crown all sewn. I'm going to put it on her head like this and sew it on. She's pretty fun. She's got a fun hat on this side and a crown on this side. I'm going to take this delicious scrap of fabric and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to create franken patches on this piece by just sewing lots and lots of different little bits of fabric on the scrap. Here's our franken patches, and I actually want to try and get 4 wings out of this, but I want the wings to be double. I don't know if we have enough fabric, but we're certainly going to try. I'm going to take these back to the sewing machine and just sew around the edge of each wing. I'm pinning the wings on her shoulders, all 4 shoulders. She's almost ready to put together. Alright, she has a lot going on. She's got arms and wings and face and words. So we are going to pin her together and shove all of this stuff inside so that it's not caught in the stitches. So we'll turn her crown down and pin her together. Now to sew over the pins have to be this way so that the needle will just slide over the pin, but that's not an option because her face is there and I don't want to poke the pin through her face. So we will just be very, very careful when we're sewing it and remove the pins as we go. Alright, her wings and her arms get tucked in. Since she has so much going on, I'm going to start here, sew around her head, her body, and her head, And then we'll deal with all of this octopus looking stuff. Now I'm going to tuck everything in, and I will just sew here and here so that I have a hole to pull everything out. Alright, so it's all sewn all around. All the goodies are on the inside. I'm going to turn it right side out. Good morning. While I was sitting in front of the television with my husband, I stuffed her, and then I sewed her side up here just with a slip stitch. She's beautiful. They are beautiful. Now it's time to dress her. This wing got caught wacky when I sewed it. I'm okay with that. Kind of think it gives her character. The hat's kind of turned into hair. I'm way okay with that. So fun. Alright, I'm going to find some fabric and make her some clothes. And please remember, I am here for inspiration only. That's a good one. And please remember, I am here for inspiration only. So I have embellished her hair with a flower, gave her a little necklace with a flower here. This is our accept side. Then if we flip her skirts, I added embellishments to this side as well, a flower. So now it's your turn. Embellish until you're done embellishing. Very, very fun. All right, your turn. Go create, go play, go have fun.